Hey everybody, welcome to another how to draw video from renderdemo. Today we're going to be drawing Forky from Toy Story 4. So I have some Strathmore sketch pad. So we're going to do this video using this paper. If you want to follow along, if you can grab this paper, that'd be great. Otherwise you can use any kind of white paper from a photocopy machine or anything. I'm going to use a mechanical pencil, but again, if you want to use a regular pencil, that's fine. I'm going to use some Sharpies and some markers, so if you grab that stuff and let's get started. So for Forky, we're going to start with his head section of the spoon slash fork. And I want to make sure my drawing's going to be a certain distance from the within this canvas size here. So I'm going to try to draw him from there to about here. So that means my head is going to be about halfway in between. So if I draw a line right about there, that's going to kind of give me my how tall he's going to be. So I'm going to start with almost like a U shape, and I'm going to draw kind of lightly, but we're going to do kind of like a U shape. Almost like a wine glass, I guess. Like that. And then the top of his head kind of goes into like a fork with these little teeth. And there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So draw something like that. So there's 2, 3, and then 4, so kind of space those out evenly, like that. And then down here, this kind of gets a little bit wider, so I'm drawing it a little bit too straight up and down, so I'm going to kind of come out a little bit more wider, like that. And especially on this side, hook this out a little bit more, like that. Again, the nice thing about a pencil, so I can go in, kind of erase lines that I don't like, and brush those away. All right, now I'm going to draw like a center line, just kind of like to give myself a marker for where the center is going to be. So the fork, or the spork, is going to come down like this now. And then it's going to get a little bit wider as you go down. So it's going to taper out wider, just slightly like that. And then there's a secondary ridge like that. Just like that. All right. And down here, I'm going to create his lower section. So we're going to do the base like that, and then come up here just a little bit above that spot there, and then we're going to taper 2 lines off to the side like this. And then down here, again, keeping your center line there, we're going to come and tilt this back down. So now you can see I started here, but now I've extended below where I wanted to end, but that's not a problem. Again, we're doing this all in the pencil, so we can kind of make adjustments and erase things that we don't like. So now for his feet, we're gonna go off of the center here, down in this direction, and then we're gonna do the other one out in that direction. So we're just gonna make these curves like this. So it's 1 foot there, and then we're going to do a line inside of that, and then we're going to do the same thing this way, like that. And you can try to draw those somewhat symmetrical if you can. It's the same on both sides, like that. Let's go back up over here to his face now. So we're gonna have his unibrow shape up here. So I'm just going to put a curve in here for that. And then I'm going to have his mouth starting somewhat around here. It's going to hook like this. So I'm just trying to get my proportions here so I have enough space for the eyes as well. So he has one eye's bigger on this side, and then the other one over here is a little bit smaller, like that. And then inside of that is going to be the black pupil part with a little highlight, and on this side it's going to be another circular shape with a highlight there. So now we can go and draw his unibrow like this, and then his mouth is kind of like a tube, like a continuous tube, like that, and then it comes up like this. And then it ends like that. Just like that. Cool. Now he has two squiggly arms. So right about here, so not halfway, but almost a quarter of the way down from the stem, we're going to draw two kind of shapes like this, and then the other one's crisscrossing this way, like that. Okay. There you go. And then from there, he's going to have a squiggly arm. Now remember how far off the page that we go, so we want to make sure that his hand is kind of about over here, and the other one's right about here. So we'll do a squiggly shape like this, and then he'll have like three finger shapes like this, and then the squiggly shape will continue like that. So that's one, and he has kind of like a palm shape over here, like that. And on this side here, you can kind of mirror the same thing or make this arm do something a little bit different. So we're just going to bring this kind of down and bend like this. He's going to have one finger here, another finger there, and his third finger right here. And then this will round like that. There we go. And over here, he'll have his palms there. And then lastly, we'll put in some details in the stem of the fork right there. And then he has a little heart shape down here. Do that. And then there's like a little rainbow shape down here on his foot, like that. So you can do a couple of colors over there. Cool, there you go. So we just drew Forky. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and start adding some of my detail lines with a Sharpie. So grab a Sharpie, and you can use different types of Sharpies. If you want to use a thicker one, or start off with a thinner one, it's up to you. It depends on how detailed you want to go. I'm just going to go with the thicker one. We're going to start with that, see how this works out. So I'm just going to go and start tracing my lines. And right here, I'm going to make sure, we don't go through certain lines that we want to keep. So that's what's nice about using the pencil, is you can make mistakes with it and then kind of use and make adjustments based on the different lines. So you can kind of see I'm only picking out certain lines that I want to highlight, and the rest of it, they kind of disappear. we go. So I'm going to start with the outer part of the eye, like that. And then I'm going to go just offset, go inside a little bit on both of those circles. If you have circle templates, you can use those as plastic templates. If not, you know, just take your time when making circles. You know, it just comes with practice. If you do it more and more, you'll get better and better at making circles. They're pretty tough to do. There we go. And then I'm going to draw his mouth right here. Just like that. Okay. I finish off his stem. I'll get these little accent shapes here. Gonna come down all the way down to the base. Then we get his lower section here. Hopefully everybody's following along nicely. If you need to rewind, you know, you can do that at any time. Go back and see, maybe you missed something or I went a little bit too fast. But what's nice, you can always just kind of slow down, hit pause, rewind, and catch back up at any time. There we go. Just finish his arms, little dangly, skinny arms here. And then we'll do his other arm here. Again, you can kind of do whatever shape you like as long as he has 3 fingers, because that's how the character was designed, with 3 fingers. You should be good. Okay, then we'll do the little heart. And you know what, for these, I'm gonna go to my thinner marker, my thinner Sharpie, and just make a little bit thinner shape there, because this Sharpie is a little on the thicker side. And I don't want to fill in the whole shape with just black ink. That's gonna be too thick there. So there you go. So now there's Forky. If you have a nice eraser, you want to go ahead and erase some lines, that's cool. Or you can just go right into filling in with some color. So I'm going to use a red Sharpie for his eyebrow area. So start adding some color. And I'm going to stick with the red and start filling in his hands. Now if you have some other markers, it doesn't have to be a Sharpie, it can be whatever you have lying around. That's red. If you don't have markers, you can use color pencils or even crayons. Like that'll work too. So whatever you have is okay. There's no right or wrong here. If your red's a little bit different than this, that's okay too. That doesn't really matter. Just have fun drawing, because that's what it's all about. Oops, kind of went out of the line a little bit. See that? Everyone makes mistakes, it's okay. There we go. Everybody feeling good about their drawings right about now? All right. Hopefully yours looks just cool like this. I'm gonna do the heart here since we're on the red, like that. And we'll do a little red in the rainbow. Okay, for my blue, you can see I have a different kind of marker here. So I'll go, and his lips are blue. So I'll just go in there, fill that in, like that. And then maybe we'll do, so this one has a thicker end and a thinner end. So we'll go and maybe add some blue down here to the rainbow, like that. And then I'm gonna use a marker that has kind of like a light gray. And if you wanna test out some stuff too, you can grab another sheet of paper, and just to kind of test out your markers, make sure it's the right color before you go and start drawing on your piece of paper, on your actual artwork. So we're gonna go with this one here. This one seems to be working better. And I'm just gonna add some shading to the fork itself, because it's a white fork, and we'll just add a little bit of like shading on here to some of these spots around the eyes. We'll go inside of his mouth, like that. Get some shading around here, like that. And I'm using kind of like a warm 10% gray marker. So you just want to use something a little, kind of on the lighter side, not too dark. Just to kind of pull out some shading, gives it a little bit of a three-dimensionality to all the forms. There we go. His eyebrow. Have like a little shadow underneath the eyebrow. Get one below his lip here, like that. There we go. Okay. And lastly, we're going to use a little bit of a orangey color. Now let's see. So I have this orange. I wanted a lighter brown, and I may not have the best markers lying around right now, but I might use this guy right here for his lower section here. So I'm just gonna go in and start coloring that up. Kind of like a brownish color. It's just a little bit more of like a gray, but if you have a kind of an orangey brown marker, you can go ahead and use that. Again, there's no right or wrong here. Just want to be something that's going to contrast the fork itself. Like that. Just like that. Okay. Now, if you have a white pencil, I'm going to grab my Prisma pencil. I'm going to add some shadow, some highlights here. So we added some shadows with the marker, and now I'm just going to add a little bit of white pencil. Now, this white pencil works really good on this paper because it has a little bit more of a toothiness to it, so the ink really kind of soaks in. And over top of it, you can kind of create white shapes that kind of goes right over top. So this paper is really nice for putting highlights over top of colors, just like that. There you go. And then, because this is kind of like a rope, I'm just gonna add these little like highlight shapes here. Just like that. And then they're kind of curved a little bit because this rope is like round. So kind of have like round curves, just like that. Like that. And also, if you have a black Sharpie, like this, Prismacolor, black Prismacolor pencil, you can go and right alongside some of those white lines, you can pick up a little bit of a shadow, just like that. Just I'm pressing really lightly here, not too hard. And that'll create a little bit more of a realistic, kind of like a rope, string, or cord kind of shape. Just like that. All right, so I will finish off with some other colors of my rainbow. So I'll put some green in here. And I have a yellow, another different kind of marker. Like I said, you can use whatever you have. Doesn't have to be all from the same set. And lastly, I might go in and add some more shading to this guy here. It's kind of like a shadowy effect. Just add some dimension, like that. There we go. All right, so I hope you guys have a cool Forky looking really awesome. And again, doesn't matter what kind of paper you have, what kind of markers you have, things like that. Just whatever you have, just have fun drawing, and you know, enjoy what you're doing. 'Cause art is fun. All right, so there's our Forky from Toy Story 4. Hope you liked our video. Please subscribe to our channel and you'll get alerted to all the new stuff that we're going to be posting. Thanks. See you soon.